live.
Sweet. Let's go.
All right, I'm Sam.
And I'm Adam.
And today we're going to be talking about a variety of things, sort of unrelated. Going to talk about the Grammys first and foremost.
Yeah, this is an excuse to have a podcast when we really don't have that much to talk about because next month is going to be chock full of great ideas and wonderful podcast topics, and we need an in-between episode.
Exactly.
There you go.
It's like the recap episode before the final arc.
But I guess we could talk about what we've been listening to first.
All right. Do you want to go? We have a lot of the same albums, but
I will talk about the one that's not on yours, that is on mine, that we haven't talked about. That's the new King Gizzard album.
Yeah, I've yet to listen to it.
It's okay.
What? So I feel a little.
That's it. It's just okay, King Giz.
Well, when you say because King Giz do like every genre, so like where does this lie on the spectrum?
It's Eastern-based psych rock.
Oh, that sounds cool.
So it's them doing a bunch of
like Crumbling Castles, but every song is that.
Yeah, it's Crumbling Castle, but every song is 4 to 5 minutes and the same. It's okay. The last track, which I can't remember the name of right off the top of my head, and I'm gonna find that as we're speaking. But it's easily the best on the album, and it's heavy psych, right? So it's basically doom metal. That's the Hungry Wolf of Fate.
So there's no follow up to Infest Their Ass Nests?
There are a few thrashy moments, but other than that, no. It's standard Nonagon Infinity almost worship, except arguably done worse, which kind of sucks. But it's King Giz. I don't think they really miss. It's just sort of
they'll drop another album in like a month and it'll be great.
yeah. It's just slightly less good, I think, than the majority of their other work. I don't blame them though, because they put out so much music anyway. Like they're gonna have some misses, and I think that KG is a miss.
Gotcha. They released some really cool vinyl along with it. A few of my friends got like the splatter editions and whatnot.
No. Mm-hmm.
But
what about you, Sam?
Well, I mean, I've been listening to a lot of as we get closer and closer to the end of the year, me and Adam have to compile the best albums. So I've been listening to a lot of those ones that I'd consider pretty good to reevaluate them on my spot in their lists. Those being like the Ulcerate album, the second Serpent Column album, Piron album, and the Imperial Triumphant album. And I don't know, I have a decent amount to say about all of them, but blanket statement, they're all really good, and they're all going to be on the list somewhere.
Good technical music is good.
Yes.
Good technical music is good.
Yeah, let's see. I guess the now that I've listened to all these albums, especially the Piron and the Imperial Triumph and the Ulcerate, so many times at this point that sort of the idiosyncrasies and like the flow is really apparent. We're gonna be saying a lot of good things about these albums in the future, so I'll bring out a couple mild criticisms. I think Happy Home isn't the best closer on Imperial Triumphant.
Well, Happy Home is a cover.
I know.
And those are bonus tracks. The two covers are bonus tracks. So I don't know.
Well, they're on the official release, though.
They're not. Well, alright, but that's the same as the Caligula's Horse tracks.
Yeah.
On that record.
No,
I don't, because I don't consider those part of the grand vision, especially when I don't know. It's weird, but I personally don't like them. I mean, I don't like the covers. I don't like
the Experience cover. A good cover.
I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of either, but that might just be because I've listened to them twice. Because whenever I do listen to the album, I just stop at the covers.
Yeah, I should do that. But all the reviews talk about the covers as part of the track list, and the band talks about the covers as part of the track list too. Fair
enough, but I don't know. I get what Imperial Triumphant is going for, but I think that The Greater Good is just too good as a closer. Then the other tracks pale in comparison.
Yeah, I gotta start
But we'll
the album that way.
We'll talk about that
next week.
next week, or whenever we talk about whatever our best albums are.
Yeah,
we don't want to give too much away.
And then with Puron, the like one because like at first I was like, oh, this isn't nearly as good as the other stuff, and I think it's just a different album. I think it has its own strengths and weaknesses. The one thing I
feel
think
same.
is a little annoying is like the song Overwinding, where it's like 7:30 every morning, and then they dock you. It's like the
bing,
that one.
Bing, bing. Yeah,
I think that song's just a little annoying.
I mean, it's kind of an interlude track. We hate interlude tracks.
I rate interlude tracks.
So, yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree with you.
Yeah, and then Ulcerate's just perfect, and Serpent Column is phenomenal. Like so,
I think Ulcerate runs just a little long. Just a little. That's the only.
It does. I don't think it does.
I think. All right. Well, you know what the problem is. The problem is the track list doesn't end after Drawn into the Next Void.
Very true, but Dissolved Orders is also a great closer.
No, I concur, but I do think that like if there's anything you're gonna touch upon, I think it's slightly samey for a little too long. I mean, obviously the whole record is pretty samey, but that's the point. So.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. I feel like if Ulcerate were executed a little less like deftly, I'd be like, oh man, this album's way too long. But like when you're listening to these tracks like out of context, they just work so unbelievably well.
Mm.
And in context, they also work really. I don't know. I think this album's like basically flawless. I can see the length being an issue, but I'm grabbed every second.
Oh no, yeah, me too. Believe me too.
And then before we go back to your list, I'll talk about a couple albums I mentioned last week that I've been grinding because they're great, which is the Dogleg album and the Molcat Doma record. Dogleg's really growing on me, man. It's really solid. I don't think there are any flaws on it, and like Doma's just so fun. I've been playing a lot of the new Call of Duty for no reason, and it's perfect COD music.
What Molcat Doma?
Yeah,
Molcat Doma. Yeah, I don't know. It's good. I mean, I don't think like we talked about it. I don't think Monument's the best record ever, but it's fun. It's
fun, and it really does just achieve absolutely everything it sets out to do.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I'll listen to Dogleg more.
Dude, telling you. I mean, granted, I listen to more indie than you just because of my quote-unquote job, but it's amazing.
No, I get you.
I get
you. We've also been grinding the brand new Liturgy, which came out on Friday. Origin of the Alimonies. We're recording this before it goes up, but there will be a review for this, so I don't want to talk too in depth about it. As this is going to come out on Thursday, and the review will come out the day before. But overall, I have a positive reaction to Origin of the Alimonies, but it is absolutely a different record than HAQQ. And I think that the only problems that I have with it aren't like criticisms against the music, but it's more stuff like the artwork and aesthetica, where there was more of an emphasis on the physical being of making an album that tells something and has that philosophy. And I feel like HAQQ doesn't do that entirely. It's a black metal album.
Uh-huh.
It is a black metal album first, and this is not a black metal album first. This is a storytelling cinematic opera first.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to consider that.
That's a nice way of putting it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not writing the review, but for me, the album's definitely good. Hunter Hunt Hendricks definitely knows what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And really keen eye for melody throughout. It's just, and it's funny because we love pretentious metal, but this album feels like a little too pretentious. And I think I explained this to Adam earlier, but what makes HAQQ or Hack or whatever, however you say it, really engaging is just how amazing the songs themselves are. And this album is definitely more of an experience, and it doesn't have like as consistent highs as Hack.
Yeah, because you also had the formula of HAQQ, which was track, black metal track, interlude, black metal track, interlude, black metal track, interlude. It allowed time to really and I know, I hate interludes, but like with them included, like I'm okay with the weird electronic blips. Because you know what? I did just get my fucking face melted by burst beats and, like, violins.
That's it. Are we having a stream
minutes.
where we just read the transcendental black metal?
Dude,
text?
I preparing for this review, I've watched a little of the documentary. Not documentary, but she has a...
Jesus, Adam.
I know, I'm sorry. She has a YouTube series where she outlines her philosophy, and I've been watching it. And I'm like, I get it, but I'm like, this is just so on another level. It's basically her philosophy is a mix between, at least generally, Christianity, Marxism, and, I mean, Nietzscheism, as much as Nietzscheism exists. But it's a combination of those three things, and I don't know. Watch the docuseries, okay?
I've read the text, and like I read a fair amount of like academic articles for school, and oh my god, it really does just feel like grounded in like higher language. That like it kind of begs. It's like almost purposefully difficult to grasp, but I don't know. That we should definitely dedicate a podcast to understanding transcendental black metal.
Yeah. From there.
This is kind of a nice segue. Yeah. So I didn't know Tombs were part of like the big hipster black metal boom in the early 2010s.
It's
because like this album is like when I hear hipster black metal, I think Black Gaze, right? And this album feels absolutely nothing like Black Gaze. It's like like hardcore sled, like crust punky sledge with some blackened elements.
I think it's posty. I think it's I don't want to call it post black metal, but I feel like it's in the same vein as like White Ward, where just kind of out there. It doesn't have a distinct home.
I'd call this like blackened sludge, honestly.
I don't know.
With hard rock riffs.
I can't even go that far because like I just don't agree with that, because like when you have a band like Lord Mantis that exists, or Cough, or even like Mizmor to an extent, I don't think that this constitutes Black and Sludge.
It's regardless, different.
Regardless, Under Sullen Skies by Tombs, pretty good. I haven't fully caught on to it. Like, I'm liking it and I'm enjoying it, but I'm not like totally head over heels. But it's getting there. I keep listening to it, and it gets better and better. So definitely,
it's the riffs here really slap. The songs are super digestible. The album as a whole it flows well. It's definitely well made. I think we've talked about it before, but like sludge metal in isolation never really grabs me.
Yeah.
It needs to do something else, or like have an impeccable songwriting. And I sort of feel that here, but it's also just a really fun album.
Yeah, I agree. I think our topsters are done.
Yeah, our topsters are bad because like all the albums I listened to this week have really long songs.
Yeah, so
like, I'm sure the Mizmor album's one, the Dialethia.
Dialethia with Andrew Black. Have you listened?
Yes, I've listened to it like 5 times actually.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I read AMG's review, right? And I wholeheartedly agree with it, but at the same time, this is absolutely everything I want in drone metal.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it tickled my fancy pretty darn good. And I sent it to one of my friends who is a big ambient head, like ambient head first. And he was like, yeah, this album's great. Like, this is an 8. And I was like, wow, okay. Random 2 songs from metal and ambient electronic boys. I am thoroughly pleased and engaged throughout the entire thing.
No, I agree.
I don't ever turn away and like get bothered by something else. Like, no, I am in with Dialethia, and like, I think it flows really nice. Whenever the guitars just come in randomly, it always tickles me a little bit. I'm like, ooh, there.
It's really engaging.
I hear ya.
Like, I love Sun. I've listened to a lot of drone. I've made a lot of drone in my life. And, drone has a tendency to just sort of be masturbatory. We're like, oh, check out this. We'll hold one note for 8 minutes. And you sort of get the sense that, like, Andrew Black and ALN were, actually crafting songs here. There's a lot of great textures. Songs flow. They build nicely. Like you said, the guitars really add some contrast. And it feels like a story's being told instead of just, haha, feedback, go burr.
Yeah. By the way, I've listened to Earth 2, and this is off topic, but, like, I get it. I get why it's influential, but kind of boring.
Yeah, well,
vibe.
I agree.
An undeniable vibe, but a little boring.
Yeah, I think Earth 2 is, like, what you should start listening to drone with.
Yes.
Because if you listen to, like, more advanced specimens, then Earth 2 just kind of seems like, wow, did they really just hold one note for an hour?
Yeah.
And, I like holding one note for an hour, but it can be a little trying.
Yes, it can. Another album with short track lists is this new debut album by the Netherlands-based doom noise band Fairer.
This album is amazing. This album is really, really good.
Yeah.
The thing is, I saw a Heavy Blog review it, and I saw AMG review it. And whenever Heavy Blog reviews something, they normally, love it. So I read the Heavy Blog review. I was like, all right, this is cool. And then I read the AMG review, and they slapped it with a 4, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, no, I think of it like, it's like if you took Sumac and Dawn, and they had a kid, but that kid took all the free improv out of their sound, so you're just left with the noise and the sludge. Wow, does it work. It's so heavy.
Yeah, it's super heavy, and this is like another really tasteful use of noise.
Yes.
Like, a lot of times, like, I literally just set up a noise can sometimes feel a bit much in compositions. It can feel like it's just there for the sake of being noisy. And few artists, like, really know how to wield the fuzz, the distortion, the harsh noise, and, like, use it in a really sonically engaging way. And gosh, I gotta look up the name, cause I just know the album art because it's great. But Fairer really definitely know what they're doing. The riffs slap. It's mixed amazingly well. Sounds absolutely crushing, absolutely massive.
The very subtle string buzz. I don't know what it's called, but, like, I can hear the song being played.
Yeah,
on this album.
It feels nice.
And I think that's awesome.
This album is like everything, like, hipster metalheads like us love. It's really well made. It's just good music.
It's just great. It's just great. It's a great.
I gotta spin it a few more times because, like, every song here is like 15 minutes. But it's really, really solid, and I can definitely see it creeping onto the list.
Yeah, I agree.
One album I'd like to talk about that's also not on my topster is the new, well, not new, but Jeff Rosenstock's release from this year. I've spun it a few times, and
Sam loves pop punk.
The thing is, I don't love, like, pop punk as a genre, but I definitely like the Pitchfork approved brand of, like, modern pop punk.
Yeah,
which is kind of, I don't know, feels a little disingenuous as a metalhead, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I love that stuff. It's great.
Sure.
And Jeff Rosenstock is great. I'm a big fan of his 2015 album. I've listened to this, like, Nausea, his hit single, like, a million times. And spoiler alert, his new album's really good. It definitely it's written with a much more, like, I guess, backwards leaning, like, songwriting inclination. Like, all the tunes, they don't sound like hyper modern. They sound like they're written using conventional songwriting techniques, but just done really well. And, all the lyrics are super personal. They're fun. All the songs have, like, ska moments, gang vocals, chorus, verse, chorus, breakdown, chorus. But It works really well, and I think like some of the tunes here, like "Fame," is honestly up there for my song of the year. It's just perfect. It's absolutely everything like punk should be in my eyes. And Jeff Rosenstock's great. He's a New York Jew. He was in a couple ska bands for like 20 years. Cutting it solo now. He's amazing live. I'd recommend watching like his audio trees and stuff. He definitely embodies the punk ethos in a live setting.
Good.
And yeah, I really like No Dream. I don't think it's going to be on there. If we have an honorable mentions cast, I'll definitely mention it because it's great. But
yeah,
it's
sure.
great.
But, yeah.
Also, we here at PM Metal Guide love Boards of Canada.
Oh, we do.
And I've been listening to Gayle Gotti again. Oh,
every time you go back to that record, you remember how just stunning it is.
Seriously, like I feel like an IDM normie, but at the same time, like, oh my god, Boards of Canada were just perfect. Like, all their albums are phenomenal. Their use of texture, their use of like album flow, the way they create like things that are both cool and super cathartic to listen to with like really minimalist IDM templates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go bananas for the beach at Red Point every time, dude. I started moshing in my room. I was knocking over my chairs.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny because like I literally listen to Boards of Canada like twice a week because I use them for talkback music. They're the only band I use. And when you actually sit down and listen to Boards, like hits differently.
It does. I don't know. It's such a vibe, and I know I keep saying vibe, but this is a vibe. Like I don't know. I've fallen asleep to Gayle Gotti countless times, and that's in the best way possible. Yeah, it's super calming, it's super warm. I love it. I love Boards. What's the best Boards album? I want to say Music Has the Right to Children, but Gayle Gotti's up there. I mean, they're all up there. They're literally all up there. Yeah,
I'm a Campfire Head Phase stan myself.
Yeah. You like that? I
like the lo-fi beats. I like the guitar samples.
They're good. I think that, I don't know, Dave Van Cowboy's a classic. But
they're all phenomenal.
They're all good.
Boo, 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 boo.
I have one more I want to talk about.
Is it this like put it up this? There. Is it the power metal album?
What power metal album? Oh no, that's not a power metal album. That's a tech death album.
Oh, it looks like a power metal album.
It's not good.
I have a few more. I listened to Big Black finally, and wow, Big Black is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, Albini based.
Albini is based. Yeah. So the other one that I had listened to is a lot this week is another Maurice de Jong project. So Maurice de Jong is most popularly the guy from Black Mouth of Spite, Gnaw Their Tongues, Mystagogue.
Oh yeah, apparently his new album's amazing.
Yeah, so he released In the Lugubrious Silence of Night as Golden Ashes earlier this year, which is on my list. I fucking adore it. It's a stunning drone black metal album, I know. Believe it or not. But we'll talk about that when we come to it. But the new Death Doom project out of his name, The Somber, his second full length under that moniker, Shapeless Misery. It also came out on Friday. And I've listened to it a few times, and I mean, I'm blown away. But then again, all of his stuff is just great. So
yeah, they absolutely loved that album on the most recent Black Market. And whenever Black Market really loves an album, you know it's going to be good.
Yeah. Very, very, very solid Death Doom with some rock influence. So,
rock influence? What are we? Loudwire?
I know. But anyway, on to our quote-unquote main topic.
So we're just like talking about whatever, and we're gonna hit the Grammys at some point.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, first of all, fuck the Grammys. Grammys suck.
Oh my god, they're so bad. They're like everything. They're everything wrong with like the old guard of like cultural critique. where it's like there's this bizarre distinction between like high and low art that really makes no sense and like is absolutely pointless, and then like it's I don't know, like as hipsters that follow the Brooklyn blogosphere quite a lot. I guess we can't really talk, but at the same time, it's like every pick just sucks, and it feels like it's either pushing a corporate agenda or like a hipster agenda.
I think that it's weird, and I don't like to say this, but I think that it would be better if like a big publication like Pitchfork or Stereogum picked the fucking records of the year. Because like honestly, like if I saw Fiona Apple on the fucking list, like whatever, like I'd be like, oh, of course Pitchfork puts Fiona Apple as best album of the year. But like, you know what? I'd expect that.
Oh yeah,
I'm okay with that.
I think we talked about this in our best of list, right? But
yeah,
there's virtually zero like qualifiers for what makes a good Grammys quality.
Yeah,
they don't talk about the process at all, or well, I guess they do, but the process itself is so unbelievably flawed. I mean, Adam, you know how it works, right?
Yeah, they have a bunch of industry heads or whatever, and certain bands and musicians go into like a big room with a bunch of people, and they fight about what they think the category should be.
Yeah, it's like a caucus, except
it's literally a caucus.
And all the people, if you get a Grammy, you get to fight. You get to representative of yours gets to fight, which is funny, and it's funny. Like I forget the demographics, but like the majority of people that vote on this stuff are older white men, and so that's why typically younger like white female singers win best of albums, and that's why like we just don't see like black artists win these things. Like,
well, for now, but the Grammys have changed their stuff in recent years. I'm pretty sure every category needs to include a diversified group.
Gotcha.
And I think that's apparent in stuff like new body count. Like, granted, I understand the influence body count has had.
Well, all right. I guess let's talk. Well, we got to talk about how Grammy always shafts the metals. Like, don't me wrong, jazz, great genre, right? But jazz gets like 7 categories or whatever,
right?
And metal, which has been pretty big part of the mainstream for quite a long time now, gets 1 category, and it's for a single. And it's not like best metal record, best metal album. It's like best metal performance. And the way a performance is quantified is super arbitrary.
It doesn't even make sense because I mean, I don't know about you, but like, is Blood Money I don't know. I don't know how to quantify. I don't know what is the quantifier here.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
For reference, for those who haven't seen the list, the best metal performance nominees are Body Count with Bum Rush off of their new one, Carnivore, that came out earlier this year. From what I've heard, not very good, but Code Orange with the self-titled single Underneath from their new one, Underneath, also came out earlier this year. In the Moment, who is a band that I've never heard of in my life.
They're like a melodic metalcore band, right?
I don't know. And you know what? Rate Your Music doesn't know either. Wait. In what? How do I say it? In this
moment?
It might be In This Moment, and the Grammys just didn't do a good job at. Well, hold on. All right.
All right.
What's the name of the song?
The In Between.
The In Between. Yeah. So there's a band called In This Moment. That is an alt metal band, apparently.
Ew.
Well, so the album tags are alt metal, industrial rock, and hard rock. From their album Mother, which came out in March. That album has a 2.41 on Rate Your Music.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, it's very high. Also included are Poppy with Blood Money off of
wasn't that a
their
single?
new one. Blood Money?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm dumb.
No, Poppy.
Blood Money is the eternal banger from I Disagree.
Yeah.
I thought. Sorry, she has a single called like Blood Wars or something. And I thought it was that for a second, but yeah, I Disagree. Yeah. Awesome album. Honestly, I gotta fight for I Disagree in the top 5.
I love Poppy. Anyway, The other one is Power Trip, with a live version of Executioner's Tax.
Swing of the axe.
Which is also a great song. But I do think that there's a lot of problems with that list. The first being there is no extreme metal representation, which is a lot to ask from the Grammys. But at this point, when like even someone like Periphery can win a Grammy, like this just feels lazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. Or like, wasn't last year's list pretty good?
Yeah, fucking high. I mean, High on Fire won. Like even sure, okay,
yeah, I'll take
fine.
it. I mean,
I'll take
look,
High on Fire
look,
winning.
this list has 3 bands I love, so I'll take it.
Well, yeah, but okay. Does Power Trip deserve a Grammy for a live performance?
I mean, I'd argue
That's not like in a live performance category.
I mean, I think it's a way to honor Riley Gale.
But is that the only reason that you should give out such an award?
No, but Grammys are all performative anyway.
Well, I know they're all performative, but like,
no, like,
I
I agree. I don't think live performances should be in the one metal category.
The first of all,
it could have been Ulcerate.
It could have been Ulcerate. There should be a difference between metal album and metal performance, because as you go down, there's one for I think every album.
Yeah, every genre.
Or every genre except metal.
Okay, let's just go through this entire list one by one.
Best gospel album. Okay. All right.
No,
best tropical Latin album.
We should go through all the Grammy noms and give our opinions.
All right, fine.
Scroll
Record of the year. This is bad. We're already in too deep.
Yeah, record of the year means like
it's song of the year.
Well, it's sort of a nebulous thing. And all these songs are like TikTok tunes, right?
I mean, like...
Not all of them, but like...
Not all of them, but like half of them.
Yeah,
which I guess is saying something.
Gosh, looking at these noms, ugh.
Alright, so Beyonce with Black Parade off of the new Beyonce album. We got Black Pumas.
Who the heck are Black Pumas? Wasn't this like a big performative gesture that people were pissed at?
I don't know. Also, Black Parade is just a single from Beyonce.
Yep, I don't think she released
So does that mean that a single qualifies as the best record of the year? I would assume best record of the year is like the best thing that was put out.
No,
right?
that's something different. Record of the year, according to the Grammys, is an award to the artist and the producers, record engineers, and/or mixers. And mastering engineers. It's different than Song of the Year. See, Grammys are bullshit.
That's stupid. Like I don't care about that.
Rockstar by DaBaby, Say So by Doja Cat, Everything I Want by Billie Eilish, Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa, Circles by Post Malone, and Savage by Megan Thee Stallion. Specifically the remix featuring Beyonce.
Aside from the problem that Beyonce's on that list twice.
Oh gosh. I don't know.
I don't think these songs are good. I'll take Doja Cat. Fine.
Say So is a slapper. Circles is a slapper. Don't Start Now is a slapper. Everything I don't think.
I don't think Circles is a slapper.
I
also
Circles.
think that there's better Billie Eilish that came out this year. Like the most recent one that I can't remember the name of.
Therefore I Am.
That
song's great.
Banger.
Actually.
Yeah.
But you understand, Grammys only go up until like September 30th or something.
I know. I know.
But
it's really difficult to look at this list for me, because like, I don't know, it just all screams phoning it in radio play. And not that there's not radio play anymore, because there's not radio play anymore, but like, this is shit you'll hear on the radio. You'll hear it on TikTok, and you'll hear it on, automatically on your streaming service.
Well, the thing is, like, I mean, it's pretty widely known that like Grammys are sort of bought and sold, and that they're more of a marketing campaign than anything else. And like, if you look at like all these picks, it's like it's by the industry for the industry, and like the outside picks are to appeal to either like people that disenfranchised the Grammys, or just like indie heads, I guess.
Right.
Like, let's look at album of the year, right? There are 3 picks here that definitely stick out, you know?
Yeah.
Because we got Colombo by Jhené Aiko, pardon if I mispronounced that. Black Puma's self-titled album Everyday Life by Coldplay. Jesse Volume 3 by Jacob Collier. Woman in Music Part 2 by Haim. Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. Hollywood's Bleeding, Post Malone, and Folklore by Taylor Swift. Now, there are albums here that you'd expect. And then there are albums here that are just hysterical. Like, why the hell is Jesse Volume 3 by Jacob Collier here? Is that like an attempt to appeal to Zoomers?
I really don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Have you listened to Jacob Collier?
No.
Don't. And then, like, Everyday Life by Coldplay. Like, I understand Coldplay, the industry loves them, but, like, do you even remember that came out? No. And it was like a triple album or something.
It also came out last year.
No, it came out this year, at the very beginning.
No, it came out last year. November 19th, I think, is what RYM records.
God damn it, Lauren. God damn it.
November 22.
Wait, just one goddamn sec. Yep.
There's just so much. All right, you know what? Another thing, there's so much R&B on this list, just in general. And I don't know if this is a greater issue. I don't dislike R&B, but I think that if you're gonna have a genre representation, like, make it widespread. Like, don't pigeonhole yourself.
Well, they're trying to appeal to, like, you know, black artists and whatnot. Because the Grammys got
but that's also but that's a problem too. That's a problem in itself. Overrepresentation is not as harmful as underrepresentation, but it is still harmful in my view. Because, like, I don't know if this is true, but I feel like I always see Beyonce on the Grammy list. I feel like she's always there.
She won like 4 Grammys for Lemonade, I think.
And, worth it?
Well,
worth it?
I think
is Lemonade really that good?
Dude, pop heads go hecking bananas for Lemonade. We saw that Rolling Stone list, and Lemonade was like number 20th best album of all time.
Yeah, it's all linked. It's all linked together.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like, we just talked about how, like, generally Grammy producers like to pick, like, younger white female artists for, like, best albums because, you know, it's a bunch of horny old white dudes.
Oh yeah.
And we see Dua Lipa and Taylor Swift and
it's crazy. I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong, but I think every best new artist is a woman.
No, Black Pumas are 2 dudes.
No, they're not on the best new artist category.
Oh, they aren't?
Exclusively. All right. There's one male on the best new artist category, and he makes R&B. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah, gosh, this is just atrocious.
All right, there's two. There's two men, but on the best new artist. Out of eight. I'm not saying it's a problem, and I agree. Doja Cat smacks. Megan Thee Stallion smacks. Even Phoebe Bridgers. Like, yeah, sure. Like, I think that they've contributed to music as a thing.
Oh my god, I literally forgot until now, but Billie Eilish won like 8 Grammys last year, right?
Yeah, Billie Eilish won 8 Grammys.
Dude, it's all like, Billie Eilish, great. Album was great for a number of ways, right?
Yeah.
But it really is just all like horny old industry plants that are like, 16-year-old girl.
Also, how the fuck is Justin Bieber's Yummy on Best Pop Solo Performance? How is that even a serious nominee?
Dude,
because it is.
Gosh. Okay, Watermelon Sugar's winning this one. That or
it better.
Or Billie Eilish again, or I don't know. I feel like, dude, if Doja wins like the 8 Grammys she was nominated for, like I'd be happy. As, like,
I'd be happy.
An industry figure. I don't know. This
Look,
whole thing just makes me mad. Like,
yeah, I'm good. I'm good with any Taylor Swift or Doja Cat noms, because honestly, the Taylor Swift's not bad, and the Doja Cat's good. Even Dua Lipa, I'm fine with.
Yeah,
like,
and I mean, I think these noms are just like what we'd expect. It's just funny when they make like very blatant appeals to like people outside the, you know, the boomers that actually watch the Grammys.
Yeah.
Gosh, Song of the Year is interesting. What the heck is If the World Was Ending? I haven't heard of like half of these songs, and like I look at the charts every single week.
Have you ever heard of JP Sax?
Nope.
It's adult contemporary.
Oh, jeez. No. Oh, gosh.
That's on Best Song of the Year.
Gosh, I'm going to go. Wait, whoa, dude. Okay, sorry. If you look at contemporary instrumental music, we got Christian Scott Atund Ajua, which is awesome.
Who? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you know who Christian Scott Atund Ajua is? Come on.
No, I do not. I don't.
He's a jazz musician. He makes like progressive Afro jazz.
I wish I followed jazz, but I don't.
His album Ancestral Recall from last year is like a 10. It's phenomenal. And apparently his album this year is pretty interesting too. But he's really cool, like really cool.
I believe it. I believe most of the music here is probably okay.
Well, okay, we can at least shit on the rock categories because like we know those a little bit better.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I expect everything.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Although
the best rock performance, like these are memes. Like not as
no, they are
not to sound like a boomer, but I wouldn't consider any of these rock. It's all just like
no, not at all.
Like Fiona Apple's great, Big Thief are great, but I mean,
they're not. That's not rock though.
And,
also, I'm so surprised that Fiona Apple was not even nominated for a Best Album
anywhere,
any category. The only time she's mentioned is Best Rock Song and Performance.
But yeah, no, that's really surprising because like
Best. Oh no, I'm sorry, Best Alt Album. But then why are you calling tracks that she makes rock? It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. And this same thing with Tame Impala and Beck. They're all in the wrong category. I don't get it, man. I really don't.
Yeah, this is weird.
Same with Phoebe Bridgers.
Is Jacob Collier really R&B? Like,
yeah, I guess so.
The best rock album category is okay, honestly. Like, I'd be happy with any of these winning.
Yeah, fine. I'll take it. And I mean, I feel the same way with Best Alt Album. But, like, I feel like there is a problem here that permeates
everything
throughout it, which is people just don't know what they're talking about. And I that's mean, but, like, how can you put Fiona Apple in 2 genre tags? Unless it's clearly 2 genres. And Shamika is not a rock song. That is an alt song.
Cringe. Yeah, and then, gosh, it's so bizarre, like, how many of these categories... Ugh, man. Wait, I'm sorry. This is very off topic. I just scrolled down to the musical theater section, right?
Oh, God.
Okay, when did they make an Alanis Morissette musical, and why haven't I listened to it?
They made that a little while ago. Yeah. Apparently it's good.
I mean, her music would work really well in musicals. I'm sorry, very off topic, but I was floored.
No. I forgot about a Jagged Little Pill, the musical.
Gosh, this is just, I'm sorry, just like looking at this, like, makes me cry. It's so bad. Like,
you know Flea put out a spoken word album this year?
Based. Is it good?
Yep. I could not tell you. It's called Acid for the Children, a memoir.
That's it. We're doing a Flea spoken word album review.
Yeah.
God, I feel like I don't have too much more to say about this. I don't know. Grammys just suck. They're out of touch. They're performative. They're industry for industry's sake. We shouldn't have them. And they cuck metal every year. Give us more than one metal category when it's such a huge genre, and you guys have like 18 gospel categories.
Seriously.
And, like,
Seriously.
Not that gospel's not valid, but it's just like metal's also valid, bro.
It is as if not more valid than that.
Yeah.
You can't have Metallica and Slipknot be some of the biggest musicians ever and not include more than one category.
Yeah, and it's like a performance. Like, what does that actually mean? What? Just give us a best metal album, best metal like song too. Come on.
It's just irresponsible. is just irresponsible. But yeah, I don't know. Where do you want to go from there? What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's just like a lot of random shit to talk about. I had a topic. I was gonna bring up something, and then we started talking about the Grammys.
Bring it up.
Go on. AMG dropped their albums of the month for October, and I'm so angry at this.
All right, hold on. Let me take a look.
I'll link it.
October?
Yeah, because they're a month behind.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
This is like one of those things where, like, if you're hyper online and like check all these sites religiously, it doesn't matter. But
which we do.
Clearly. Huh. That's why we're post-millennial. But oh my god, it's like all these albums. What always kills me with the AMG thing is like albums will be like, oh yeah, this is a 4.5, and they just never get mentioned anywhere ever again.
Yeah.
And then like 3.0s and 3.5s will get on there. And
then they pop up.
And like I personally just dislike all of these albums here. Like the 3 albums they picked are An All in the Craft, More Prince Est, and Armored Saint.
They all fit exactly the heavy blog niche, though.
You mean AMG?
I don't know. Or the AMG.
Yeah,
niche.
It's like AMG loves their like mellow death and like related like extreme metal cheese, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the most AMG album ever is Passing Light of Day, and for good reason. But because like it's a great album, but you need to be the opposite of lactose intolerant in order to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You gotta love
I
like
agree.
the sweeping metalisms and the sweeping like it's just dumb as shit, and that's part of the charm. Like I think a good example of the AMG like niche would be Will to Run. Cause that's cheesy, but it's executed phenomenally, and it doesn't feel forced. And like all these albums, like the On the Cross in particular, like I hate that album. I cannot listen to it without passing out. It is too much for me. Same thing with the Morris Prince East. Same thing with the Armored Saint.
Yeah.
Shots fired. Like I feel like there are so many great releases in October too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like
there were a ton.
Like I feel like I had.
I want to go on the AMG website, and I want to see what they reviewed in October. That was notable, because I'm sure there's definitely a lot of content. That's good.
I have it right here. I have the list of 4.0s right here. We got Witch Hazel.
Okay.
Wobbla.
By the way, great album.
Yeah, Wobbler. It's definitely on there. Hell Ripper.
Have you told your dad about Wobbler?
For those who don't know, my dad is a big fan of prog rock and prog metal. And so he listens to like Leprous and Haken, goes bananas for those bands, and also loves like King Crimson, all those guys. So on a tangent, actually I have told my dad about Wobbler, and he loves the album.
Great.
He particularly.
That's how I know there's a good prog rock or good prog metal album.
Yeah,
I give it to your dad, and that's it.
That album's phenomenal too. Also, Invernoir and Arcade Messiah, all of those were 4s.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot there.
Oh, also like Svalbard. But
they got on the
like on the September one with the
one.
ocean. One of these days we're gonna actually like the ocean, and it's gonna be crazy.
I don't know. It's alright. It's good. I just don't like listening to it. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Oh, what? I didn't mean to link that.
You fool.
I didn't mean to link that.
In other news, there is a 2-song Paysage d'Hiver EP releasing this Friday that is an addendum to Imwald. It is called Imtrom. And it is dropping on Friday.
You could not make that up.
I'm not making it up, dude. That translates in German, because Imwald is in German, to what? In the Dream. rather than
not
in the
gonna lie, dude.
forest.
Every time I hear a song from Involved, I'm just like, all right, it's just the best album of the decade. It's easy to be like, oh, Anthony Fantano gave it a 3, so it's not that good, right? And then I hear an Involved track, and I'm like, holy shit, this is what metal should be. It's so...
There's also in Paysage d'Hiver News, they're also releasing a compilation of the Schnee tracks, which came out between 2002 and 2017.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
Adam,
4-song compilation.
For the contrast of metal blogs, check out the editor's picks from Heavy Blog for November, which is also covering for October.
Well, start talking about it. So
okay.
I'll...
So Heavy Blog's interesting because obviously they cover metal first and foremost, but I'd say like us, they also listen to a bunch of other genres. And so whenever I look at the Heavy Blog's picks for the albums of the month, it's always really crazy because they're all these albums that somehow I've never heard of in like other genres too. Like I hear the obvious one to be clipping because everyone and their mother likes clipping. I know someone we know personally that like not super well that we thought had pretty, let's say, average music taste. Posted on their social media they were listening to a clipping song, and I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah,
not because clipping aren't great, but it definitely shows that they're penetrating the normie audience.
Yes,
which is funny. But like if you look at this list, we got.
I'm looking at the list. It's really interesting.
We got the Mountain Goats album, which like I've heard mixed things about. I'm not a huge Mountain Goats fan.
Wait, Wake dropped another album.
Wake dropped another album.
Wake dropped another album.
Sick.
It came out in October. 3 tracks.
It's 3 tracks.
23 minutes.
Yeah, alright.
Very interesting, though. You have Ghostmain, Bring Me the Horizon, Zealand Ardor, Oneo
Honorary Astronaut.
Honorary Astronaut, yeah.
Have you listened to the Ocha album?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I really have not.
I haven't either. I really want to listen to the Scaff album.
It's really good.
I've heard amazing things
I'll
about
tell you
it.
that. It's really good.
Have you listened to the Oneo Tricks Point Never? That's another like indie album that everyone's going bananas for.
I have not. I've never listened to any Oneo Tricks.
He just did a performance on Jimmy Fallon with Anna
really?
Kachyan's boyfriend on drums.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny.
I don't know if you listen to the Red Scare.
I've heard it.
I love Red Scare. But yeah, that's funny. And I have never listened to the album they put at the top of here too, which is Chaos Divine Legacies.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Gosh, the duality of online.
Going back to this, it is very interesting because this is so varied.
Yeah, it's super varied. Like it's what I like to see. Where if you go on AMG, you get 3 albums that are all like extreme metal with clean choruses and a lot of cheese.
Yeah, a lot of cheese.
Like every site definitely has their tropes.
Certainly. Yeah. I agree. New 4 on AMG.
Oh, really?
Well, Shores of Null. I don't know if you have that, but
nope.
I haven't listened to it yet.
All right. You know what? This is super off topic, but there's literally, there's no topic. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's no
How
topic.
much BT Bam have you listened to recently?
Recently?
Yeah.
Not a lot. I threw on The Great Misdirect actually the other day because someone was like, "What is this band?" And I was like, "Click." I played the first few minutes of Obfuscation, and then they were like, "Okay," and then yeah. So not very much.
Well,
answer your question.
I don't know. I've been thinking a lot. I've been thinking a lot about BT Bam recently, like their career arc. The differences between the albums and all that.
Sure.
And
what's your revelation?
The red pill is that they're not actually a good band.
I don't know how to tell you this, Sam, but I told you so. No. I can kind of agree with your sentiment. A little bit.
I mean,
Please explain your point.
Look, I say this as a huge VT Bam fan. I literally own every VT Bam CDs. We've seen them like 4 times. They're phenomenal. Like they're definitely they're definitely hallmarks of like the American progressive music scene, and they're beloved across the world for a number of reasons, and we gotta respect that. But like at the end of the day, they're just I don't know. They don't have they're not exactly the best at writing songs.
No, they have they're a very nice performance group.
What do you mean by that?
Like they're great players, and I don't want to say they struggle in the same way Dream Theater does, because I do think that they're better than writing. I think they're better at writing songs than Dream Theater, but I think overall with BT Bam they have a general problem where they just can't really focus. Like, yeah, the song structures are nice and like hoedown breakdown funny, but like where's the flow?
Well, no, exactly. Well, I mean, I think we talked about this last week, but the way BT Bam wrote songs for a long time is all the members would just write individual sections and then they just piece them together into like a 7-minute long song. That's how they wrote Colors. That's how they, and then they've sort of evolved past that, and you can definitely tell in their later works. But like,
no, absolutely. Some of the stuff, like Voice of Trespass, is like, yes, I'm a good BT Bam song.
Or like,
I think they have evolved.
Like Condemned to the Gallows. Oh,
yeah.
Blot. Oh, yeah. Honestly, like I think that what made me realize this is like learning so many of their songs. I got a new 5-string bass. And I've been trying to throwing myself at some of these Dan Briggs parts, because Dan Briggs probably one of the best metal bassists like ever. He's phenomenal. He has this really signature tone technique. He guides the ear in a really clever way. Awesome player, right? And so I've been trying to learn the Dan Briggs parts, and like when you're listening to just the isolated bass, what's funny is the later a song is in VT Bam's career, like the more coherent it is. And I don't know, that's not necessarily a good or a bad thing, because I really, really love, like, you know, I think Great Mr. X is my favorite BT Bam album. And, like, I've been grinding Obfuscation's bass line. And what's funny about Obfuscation is that song is phenomenal. It's probably one of the best BT Bam songs, but the way it's written is mind-blowing, because it makes virtually no sense. You got Mira's, which is the coolest intro ever, and then you suddenly go into sick guitar riff into like a 4-minute riff solo section, more riff solo, climax, chorus, breakdown out. Like, it's just so bizarre, and you can tell that like the whole thing wasn't written with too much foresight, but it definitely works.
It works. It does. But I agree, they're not the best songwriters to ever grace.
But like, I mean, that being said, like when I think, I don't know if I've say this opinion publicly, but Parallax 2 is a bad album, but the songs that are good on Parallax 2 are the single best BT Bam songs. Like, let me whip it out right now.
You have Lay Your Ghost to Rest, Astral Body, Extremophile Elite, fucking Silent Flight Parliament.
Yeah, and like, you know, depending on where you stand, Telos.
Sure. Like, but yeah, those songs are all like,
I remember we saw like Astral Body and Layer Goes to Rest on their tour with Leprous and Deer Hunter, and that was like one of the best moments I've like ever experienced live. Like the climax towards the end of that song. Oh my, or like what is it now? I'm trying to think. Well, it's after the weak souls, weak minds. I don't know. Awesome stuff. Stuff.
But no, I agree with you.
Yeah, Parallax, and like what's funny is like the album aside from that just does not work. Like the interlude tracks suck. Melting City is probably one of the worst BT Bam songs, and even like Silent Flight Parliament really isn't that good of a song.
Yeah.
But the tracks that like Extremophile Elite and Astral Body, Lagos Rest, and Telos, in my opinion, are just like the best tunes ever to grace this earth. And they do the BT Bam thing like right, and I don't know, it's good. I like it. Parallax 1 is also a great EP, but is definitely BT Bam in the sense that like all the songs are just, you know, Dusty and Paul going off on 8-minute riff solos.
But the good thing about that though is they don't have anywhere to like, I guess they don't have anywhere to have to go to. There's no overarching anything other than the bullshit BTBM always does. But like those 3 songs really nicely condense into that half hour that they are.
Yeah,
there doesn't have to be any more because it all works.
And all the all the song, at least on Parallax 1, like all the songs have the clean moments that really hit and that ground the songs. And that, I think that's one of the reasons why they're so fun live, is because like you really can just turn your brain off during the riff solos and just endless like chugging and stuff and just jump in the pit, and then you can come back out during the clean sections and scream the lyrics. Mm-hmm. And like Parallax 1 does that perfectly, because all the songs are just riff solo, like endless riff solo bullshit, and in the last like quarter of the song there's some really cathartic clean moment to sing along to. And Spectral Reflection, that's the I open my eyes, the smell of morning, my skin, and then walking into for the first time. In Augment of Rebirth, you have the have I become a god? I have been called much worse. and then Lunar Wilderness, you have the just amazing like climax at the end. God, I don't know. That'll honestly, Parallax 1 bass take best BT band work.
Yes, I've said this, Sam.
I've said it too.
Here.
Adam,
we've all said it.
You haven't even listened, dude. Honestly, do you want to hear the hottest of takes? You'll never recover from this.
No, Coma Ecliptic's the best BT band album.
No, the best BT band album is Parallax 1, as we just said. But Coma Ecliptic's better than Colors.
Yeah, I can't agree with this. I cannot agree with this opinion.
No, dude, I'm just saying. Coma Ecliptic is up there. Coma Ecliptic's like the 3rd best BT Bam album. I will fight to the death over this viewpoint.
Well, that's a podcast topic for another time.
Adam's like, Sam, look, I'm gonna be real. I've only listened to Famine Wolf once.
All right, if you set me up and say, Adam, we're doing a podcast on the Coma Ecliptic, I'll do it. I will take the dive, and I will formulate a real opinion
on Coma Ecliptic.
But until then, I see no reason to go and listen to it. So
no, the real bass take is that Tommy Giles' album from 2018 is better than Automata. But I don't know.
Automata 2 is good.
Automata 2 is good. Automata 1 has its moments.
Yeah.
I just don't like half the album. I don't know. Blot's fun live. Condemned to the Gallows is amazing.
Yeah.
It's fun live.
It's fun live. Yeah, we've been over this. We've been over this. In other news, I have actual. If we want to start to slowly transition into the news segment of this show,
no, but we just gotta meander some more.
Yeah, Mastodon. I mentioned before that they were in the studio.
Yeah, they said they might have 2 new albums.
They said they might have 2 new albums.
Which is
wow.
Which is great. I mean,
because like they said that they had a lot of tracks, but they have like 30 tracks written.
Dude, those guys are tanks.
Yeah, clearly. Like that's nuts. And they did an Adult Swim live performance, which was very good.
Yeah, that performance was awesome, and Blood Incantation did a great set.
I watched that one too. I actually, speaking of live stuff, I recently watched. Oh no, I watched the Imperial Triumphant.
Isn't that video amazing?
You sent, yes, and that's only half of it.
I know, the other half's like $5.
Yeah.
No, it's shot so well. The vibe like just works, and both the all the instrumentalists are perfect.
Of course.
Like, wait, Adam, quick, Phil. I gotta let my dog out of my room.
Imperial Triumphant, good. System of a Down's 2 singles are number 1 and 2 on the Billboard chart. They were at least on November 6th. I don't know if they're still there now. I'm saying how the 2 songs off the System of a Down record were the Billboard top 1 and 2 at one point.
Oh, really?
Really?
Last week?
November. When were they? I don't know when they were. They landed at 1 and 2 for the week ending November 12th.
That's awesome.
So it was 2 weeks ago. But yeah, they were number 1 and 2.
I think, therefore, I am.
And they're both good.
Yeah, no, they're both. I mean, if anything, that just. Wait, AJR had a song that was like number 19 last week.
Are you surprised?
Oh my, sorry. I'm not surprised at AJR. I thought it was AJJ for a second, and I was surprised.
Stop.
Dude,
No,
AJJ are great.
No, I do not like AJJ. I'm not a fan of AJJ.
Adam just hates folk punk.
I will go on the record.
on the actual topic, dude, it just says that like all the crazy bands from metal's commercial peak of like the late 90s, early 2000s, they have a diehard audience. And like, all it would take is like Sod to go on a tour with like Tomb Mold or something.
God.
And like we got to talk about the Cyberpunk soundtrack. And
oh yes,
but
that's...
like all it would take would be for like Sod or Tool to like tour with like one of the extreme metal like goats right now, and suddenly they'd be giant.
No, you're right. Jumping to Cyberpunk 2077 soundtrack. Wow,
holy
good
bass,
soundtrack.
Batman.
No, seriously, like yeah, okay. You know what? Run the Jewels, Grimes, sure, fine, okay. Sophie, Converge, Tomb Mold, all right. Health, okay, all right. The Armed, Deaf Kids, La Destroy. Like, I'm very impressed. Like, seriously, holy base Batman.
Yeah, no, I was absolutely floored. My friend sent me the Tomb Mold Instagram post like, we're on the Cyberpunk 2077 soundtrack, and I was like, that's a funny edit. Like that's what I said. And then I actually checked the Cyberpunk post. I shit myself. I was like, oh my god.
No, it's crazy. Like, you have to, like, I'm not gonna lie. I know everyone's been talking about Cyberpunk, but I've been kind of out of the loop with the whole thing.
It's probably going to be the best game of all time, just to let you know.
I know, and I'm gonna get it, but, like, this was one of the driving factors of why I wanted to get it now. With no knowledge, I'm like, well, shit. Now I have to get it. New Tomb Mold, like, I don't care where it is. That's gonna be my goal.
Yeah, and health. I mean, I don't know what you heard because of a disturbance, but, and Health, and Converge, and Armed, that's crazy.
No, it's nuts. That's crazy.
And like, metal metal representation in the mainstream, bro. Like people talk about nowadays how great GTA 5 radio was and how it turned them on to so many artists. Like Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be one of the most played games like of all time, and just by having like an actual death metal band in there, and not just like I don't know, Bring Me the Horizon, but like an actual death metal band. That's crazy. That's so good.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely something exciting to, like, I don't know, even someone like Converge, like, that's big. That's big news for like a kind of baby band still.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because Converge are definitely one of those bands where like if you listen to heavy music, you love them. Like they're ginormous. They wrote the book and so many things. They're huge. But most people that don't.
Yeah, they won't know who Converge is.
Which is it's cool. Like, I don't know. Imagine being like a 10-year-old and watching XQC or whatever play Cyberpunk on Twitch, and then he's like, "Oh, this is a pretty good song."
I also think it's cool that they have their own band names and stuff.
Yeah, that work like in lore, which is really awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. But yeah,
agree.
What else should we talk about? Michael Bublé likes Deftones.
Okay.
This is not a bit.
No, I know it's not a bit, but I think it's so funny when like metal publications or like music journalists like report on like, oh, did you know Rihanna was a or like there's like this horrific story like Margot Robbie was a Slipknot fan.
Yes,
it's like
yes. I love going on like metal publications and just looking at the shit stories. Like it's so clickbait, and it makes sense. Like on Metal Sucks or somewhere. The thing that's been blowing up is the Joe Biden singing King Nothing. I don't know if you've seen this. I don't think he actually sings. I think it's the edit. I haven't watched anything. All right. There's a video of President-elect Joe Biden singing Metallica's "King Nothing," and I'm pretty sure I'll put it on now. But it's like, yeah, it's the edit that they do for, like, you know, the Trump edits where Trump sings whatever.
Yeah.
It's just that for Joe Biden, which is stupid. But holy crap, that's news.
Oh gosh, yeah, I found it.
That's on a news publication.
Oh man, and like, I mean, we joke about it all the time, but like with the Fear Factory drama, like, why is that so newsworthy? And like, it's sort of, especially like with the celebrities being metalheads, it definitely like paints a bad picture too, where it's like,
yeah,
you know, just liking certain music is somehow dumb. Like when I don't know, like it's wrong to stigmatize anything and being like, oh, like imagine talking about like another music genre like that, like, oh, this superstar likes listening to country music, like, oh my god, it's just dumb.
Yeah, it's
gosh, dude, these news stories are. I went on Metal Sucks for the first time in months, and Jesus Christ, this is bad.
Yeah,
like this is really bad.
Mm-hmm. It's half of it is just like, what does Dave Grohl think about this?
What does Corey Taylor think?
What does Corey Taylor think about this?
Corey Taylor is a carrot.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It really is. Well, like, I want to know where the hell the new Indian album is. Where's that? Okay?
Is there a new Indian album?
I'm pretty sure that they're in the studio. I could be wrong. But I think that Indian is in the studio. Which, if that's the case...
Yo, unrelated, do you listen to Eternal Champion yet?
I have not.
Dude.
Have you?
I just had to take a deep breath, step away from the mic. Cause,
I could tell.
Yeah, I've listened to it like 4 times. I hate it. I hate it so much.
You hate it?
Like, the thing is, I can like get behind it. I'm like, alright, yeah, this is cool. And then like I'll hear like a lyric where he's like, the dragon's blade stands before, and then like goes like absurdly high, and it just takes me so out of it. And like the riffs are great, the songs are written super well. It's just, dude, heavy metal sheen kills me. I don't know what it is.
Nah, I get it. It's just it's almost poppy. It's too. It's like when I listen to trap metal. It's too much of what it is. I don't want it that way. I want it to reel back some stuff.
Except also, it's clearly well done. But
yeah, writing has commenced as of January 21st of this year.
Or for the new Indian.
For New Indian. However, they haven't posted since January until like 3 days ago when I think their sound mixer died, which is unfortunate.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
No, or like they're like live sound guy.
Except there.
But regardless, unfortunate. But yes, I know what you're talking about. The heavy metal sheen is hard to break, and I feel like unless you really like that style, it's hard because that's like that extra mile. I think that might be the extra mile for like people who stan Thin Lizzy. You know,
like honestly, if we had gotten into metal more with like thrash and like Judas Priest and like Maiden and stuff, we'd totally love it. It's just, unfortunately, we liked Gent when we were 10.
Damn it. Yeah, no, that's unfortunate.
Gosh, now I'm just like scrolling through Spotify and like, I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but holy heck, the metal playlists on Spotify are hysterical.
Some of them are so good, and some of them are so
bad. It really, like, I'll go to metal right now. It's funny because you go through like all the top categories. You know, you got hip hop, pop, country, workout, rock, Latin, R&B, whatever. You have to scroll down to the very bottom to find metal.
Dude, even League of Legends and Christian is above metal.
Yeah, dude, we got regional, Mexican, Desi, anime, comedy,
romance. K-pop,
Higher Ground. Africa. Wait, what is Higher Ground? Literally just the podcast? Oh wow, I hate that. The Neolib Obama podcast is above metal. Oh man. Yeah, let's just talk about some of these metal playlists, dude. Holy shit.
All right, new metal tracks. I see "Kill or Be Killed." I'm already thrown off. Okay.
So when you say new metal, what do you mean?
New as in new like brand new,
like NEW. So, right.
Yeah,
oh gosh, dude, this list is wild. this playlist is wild.
"Kill or Be Killed," Era, Villain of the Story, Skywalker.
What the heck is Michael Schenker Group?
Well, I don't know. Michael Schenker Group. He's probably a virtuosic guy. I haven't heard of any of... Oh, no, I've heard of a lot of them. But the ones that, like... Okay, Corpaclani, Dark Tranquility, Moonspell. You know what?
This is so bizarre, because it's like a blend of, like, random, like, extreme metal bands, like, trendy gent, and then, like, pop metal.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
There's no real...
There's no qualifier once again.
There's no qualifier.
Wait, Hierarchy, Curie for the Sky, and Nej did a song together. What?
That I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's called "Sing for the Damage We've Done."
Well,
that's cool.
That they did do that.
Gosh, that's so weird. And then don't even start on kick-ass metal.
Yeah.
Isn't that just like the pop metal playlist?
I think so.
Yeah, we got
Within Temptation, System of a Down, Architects, Fit for a King. Oh God.
Pop Evil.
Damn, I remember when Pop Evil was a metal band. Oh wait.
Atreyu, Machine Head, Amaranth.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Spirit. Oh yeah.
There's the Harakiri for the Sky again.
Yep. There's the Spirit Box song. Okay, can we have we talked about Antagonist by Soen on this? I think we did. I played it again like last week. Oh my god, it's probably the single worst Soen song I've ever heard.
It's bad.
It's atrocious.
And it makes the new album that is coming out next year very scary.
Gosh. Yes, it does.
It makes
it's so funny looking at like the number of these playlists and like the followers and whatnot, because like Kick-Ass Metal, Metal Essentials, 90s Metal Classics, and Old School Metal all have like 1 million followers, and you go to like, what is it, Dark Metal, which is like the amazing like hipster playlist. Yeah, there's like Got Gent, Industrial Metal, Prog Metal, Metalcore Classics, Heavy Beatdown. Yeah. I think
Dark Metal is, I think, one of the better ones. Also the ones that are like handpicked, like I remember when the Nej playlist came out.
Oh my god, the Nej playlist was so good.
Yeah.
There's
sure
the others,
horrible,
which is like metal adjacent music and weird metal music, and it's so good, dude.
Yeah. You have Zealand Ardor, Igor. Yeah, you've got Ghostmane in there, fine. Napalm Death, Ishan,
Solstifier, Ashbringer.
By the way, have you heard the new Body single?
Yeah, it's probably the best Body song.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Uniform, Ulver, Mersbow, Thy Catafalque, Russian Circles.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And I like how there's just an exclusively Scandinavian playlist.
Oh yeah, of course. You gotta have the North. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's called Northern Spirits.
Northern Spirit.
Gosh, I hate this. I hate this so much.
I want to look at the Prague one, but it's broken, or my computer's broken or something.
I don't know. I see Daniel Tompkins and Javier Reyes on the cover.
Yeah.
Let's see. You got
stuff on his own.
Yeah, the song is called Ruins.
Oh.
He just released it. I didn't know he had a solo project.
Didn't either.
I mean, he's amazingly talented. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. This seems just like it seems like contemporary prog metal.
Yeah.
We got like Soen, Vola, PG Lost.
Oh yeah, he put out a solo album last year.
Is it good?
No.
No.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't listen to it, but yeah. Oh man, he's He guessed on that Earthside album. I'm learning a lot about Daniel.
The more you know about Daniel Tompkins.
The more you know. Oh, my cat's yelling at me. I apologize, podcast listeners, but the cat takes priority.
Cat's always more important.
Yeah. Exactly.
Gosh, it's so funny looking at the disparities between like these. Oh, there we go. Black and dark metal's where it's at.
Black and dark metal. Yeah.
It's funny because it's black and dark metal, and then you got like Draconian and Imperial Triumph and Oceans of Slumber.
Well, hold on. Imperial Triumphant's kind of a black metal band.
Yeah, they kind of are. Gosh, yeah, this playlist is just great.
Yeah, that
one's good. Gosh, the rest of them just like kind of make me sad though.
Yeah, most of them are not very good.
That's it. At least we got Gent.
And you know what? This podcast's running kind of long.
Oh, we're just having too much fun talking about
we're having too
tangentially metal-related things.
Well, all right, hold on. Now that we're sort of, I don't know, I think we're done-ish. We should outline what's going to happen. Build up some hype.
Oh well. First, we gotta cover news stories first.
I thought we kind of already did that.
Well, there are some. When I say news stories, I mean like, one sec.
All right.
I mean like bottom of the barrel metal sucks news stories.
Of course.
Trapped got banned.
What do you got for me?
Didn't they get?
I heard the Trapped frontman got banned on Instagram. I heard that.
Yeah, what was he doing? I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Something racist. Something stupid.
Sounds about right. Greg Puciato is doing a streaming event. That should be great.
I saw that. I was gonna mention that. Have you listened to that fucking album already, or no?
I have yet to listen to the album.
God damn it! Throw it on, Sam.
Look, man. I will. Normally, normally I try to educate myself on like the extreme metal that takes a few times to listen to really get. Gosh, yeah. Trapped were also kicked off Facebook and Instagram.
No.
And then like we got metal fans doing Christmas tunes.
I saw what's his name? Fucking
Devin, Heavy Devi.
Yeah, Heavy Devi.
Oh, I will. One another thing is like a bunch of bands have released like fully recorded live shows recently. Like Gojira just dropped their Hellfest one. Ginger just dropped a live in Melbourne one.
I saw the Ginger.
I still think it's hysterical how big Ginger are. Like every time I'm like, oh yeah, Ginger's just that weird band that like people like to react to on YouTube, right? And then
they have a fan base, dude.
They have a huge fan base. I mean, I don't know, Ginger are cool for what they are.
Ginger, no, I disagree. I don't think they're very good in any asset. But
well, that's what I said for what they are.
Right. I don't think that a lot of groups are good, but that is
all right.
That is,
so you're telling me you're not gonna buy a kitchen sink autograph by Tool?
No, I will not actually. I've spent too much money on Tool adjacent merch that I do not need. So, yeah.
I think Alex Van Halen's 1980 Invasion Tour drum kit is hysterical. I think he's selling it for charity or something for like $300,000 or something.
Makes sense. Someone's gonna buy it.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I mean, aside from that, I guess we really did cover most of the news this week.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, so I don't know. I think, alright, so are we going to take a week off in December, Sam? Or no?
No, bro, every week, bro.
Alright,
well, so next week is going to be the great debate.
That is it?
Yeah, first week of December.
Alright, great debate next week. Basically what it's going to be is just us deciding what is on our best of list of the year and in what position it's going to go. There will be a formal release of this at some point in the month of December. We're unsure of that at this point. But we'll be fighting on that topic next week.
Yes. It's gonna be a long podcast. I think last year it took us like 4 hours to hash out the details.
It took us a very long time.
So that should be interesting. And then I mean, I think we should sort of do like a list week. Like we can also do do an honorable mentions podcast, like albums we liked that, but don't quite make it onto the list. We could do a.
Right.
God, I forgot the other idea, but obviously we got to do a final best of podcast to cap off the year.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it's a songs of the year podcast too. So we got like 3. We can milk this for a month.
Can we milk it for a month?
Totally. So next week, right?
Well, actually, there's 5 months. We have 5 podcasts released in December.
Really? Why?
Because the last day of the month, the 31st, is on a Thursday.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's actually funny.
So we have the 3rd, the 10th, the 17th, the 24th, and the 31st. So regardless, we have a jam-packed December to...
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the year in review, our thoughts on the good music released, our thoughts on the not so good music released.
Oh, that's right. You were going to talk about disappointments.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like every year there are disappointments.
Oh, absolutely. And I could already name a few.
Yeah, just like looking at my list, there are some obvious ones I don't want to give away quite yet.
Yeah.
But definitely some ones to talk about. I'm looking at you. I don't know. There really are a lot.
There's a bunch. But yeah, all right. Well, this has been the PMMetalGuide podcast.
I'm Sam.
I'm Adam.
And get ready for the Thunderdome next week, where we fight it out blood sport for the best albums of the year ranking. Should be fun.
Exactly. Oh yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye.